And we are back. Episode 2 of Season 3 of To The Points. And Zoom, it's football season, and man, is it football season, because this week had everything, right? You had a 17-point comeback, a 14-point comeback, a dude getting arrested on the way to the stadium, prime time, sizzling matchups. This was fun.
Yes, I mean, it was so much fun. I mean, started off with, the Chiefs, obviously, and then it went to Brazil, and then Sunday, fun day, full with football. I mean, football is back, and this is the best time of the year.
Yeah, I mentioned that it was a funky week 1. I didn't even scratch the surface of the fact that the NFL played a Friday game in Brazil. There were contracts handed out left and right. It was a super fun week 1, a Bears comeback win against the Titans. But let's turn the page because we got to get to the dang points.
That's right.
And it's Thursday, so we got a game tonight. It's the Bills at the Dolphins. And get this, 4 in a row victories for the Bills against the Dolphins, including 11 wins in their last 12 games. Josh Allen has owned the Miami Dolphins. So will that trend continue down in Miami tonight? Let's start, though, with the Dolphins, with Tua, Tyreek Hill, and that motor of an offense. Zoom, what's your read?
I mean, the Dolphins are high-powered. I think it's the first week, and I think after the first week, they're number 1 in passing. So, obviously, they're going to light up the scoreboard. Tyreek Hill, I think he scored an 80-yard touchdown. And then the celebration with the handcuffs, that was very interesting. But, nevertheless, he got into the end zone. But credit to Mike Daniel. He knows how to be creative and get the ball to his most explosive players with Tyreek Hill. Tua, all he has to do is just protect the ball, which he did a pretty good job of last week. But protect the ball and then just get the ball to Tyreek. And the things that McDaniel does, is he finds ways to get people like Tyreek Hill in space, finds them to get clean releases. And once he does that, Tyreek Hill is one of the fastest wide receivers that we've ever seen in the National Football League. And once he gets the ball, he is absolutely electric. And then also with Achane. So he carried the ball only 10 times. He had 24 yards. He got a little bit hurt, but he was effective in the pass game. 7 catches for 76 yards. So it was a good balance between on the ground and through the air. And I think that will continue over with this game on Thursday Night Football.
When I see a running back with 7 catches for 76 yards, that's eye-popping. That tells me it was a part of McDaniel's game plan to work Achane into the passing game.
Right.
And all those yards added up. 130 for Reek, 109 for Waddle, 76 for Achane. So all in all, Tua had 338 passing yards, one of just 2 quarterbacks in the first week of the NFL with 300 yards. It was just him and Stafford. Not much action through the air, but Tua had it going.
Yeah, absolutely amazing what Tua was able to do. And I think for this game, they're going to try to bring more of a balanced approach, a little more run-oriented instead of just passing all over the place. And if they keep that balance, and they'll be able to knock this Bills defense off of balance as well, because they won't be able to pin their ears back and just come after Tua. They have to respect that run.
The Bills are going to be a little short-handed as well. They're missing Teron Johnson, nickel cornerback, who's out with injury. Hey, let's get to the Bills' offense, because it was a rough start, but a hot finish.
It was definitely rough.
They were down 17-3 at home against Arizona, last-place team from last season. Josh Allen, though, he led this comeback, 18 of 23, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and the Bills won by 6. So what do you look for from the Bills' offense in Miami?
I think they continue to roll. I think Josh Allen is pretty damn good. Unfortunately, he has a lot of turnovers. I think he had a forced fumble that they lost in the game last week. And he has 76 turnovers dating back to the start of the 2020 season. So that is a lot. He has the most in the NFL from that point. So he has to protect the ball, but he is pretty damn good. He's good through the air, and he's able to find his wide receivers by committee, because there's a bunch of them that he's throwing the ball to. I want to say he threw the ball to 9 different wide receivers. And then he was able to run, and that's where he's really effective. Josh is not just going to stay in that pocket and just throw the ball in the pocket. He's going to move, and if he has a chance to run down the football field, he will do it. And he is a big body that is able to run. I think he scored 2 touchdowns last week on the ground as well. So I think a lot more of that is going to be coming. I like the fact that they're going to try to stay balanced with run and pass. Here's my guy. This is the matchup that I'm waiting to see. It's Dalton Kincaid. I think that he is going to go off this game. He didn't really go off the last game, but this game is kind of geared up for him to be excellent. And I think that Josh Allen is going to find ways to get him the ball creatively.
Yeah, only 1 catch for 11 yards last week, but a Miami secondary that can be susceptible against tight ends. So we'll look for Dalton Kincaid in that Bills offense that's still kind of figuring out life after Stephon Diggs. What does it look like? Well, they're 1-0. The Dolphins are 1-0. We know the history. Bills have won the last 4. So Zoom, let's get to the points. Let's make some picks. Miami's favored at home by 2.5. Over under, pretty chunky. It's 48.5. Let's hear the pick.
Well, Buffalo is going down there to sunny Miami. And I actually like them winning this game, 27-23 and covering the spread. I also like Dalton Kincaid a lot to have an extremely solid game. I have him over 3.5 receptions. And I also like Josh Allen on the ground to rush for over 36.5 rushing yards.
It's going to be hot and humid. 83 degrees, 81% humidity at kickoff down in Miami. Ooh, that's tough. But
yes,
I agree. Offense is going to be flying, so I'll also hit the over. Although I'm picking Miami to win this one. 31-27. Give me the Dolphins. They just have too many weapons. I look at this Bills offense. I just don't see the weapons. Dalton Kincaid? I mean, come on, really?
Yeah, we're going to come alive.
We're going to go Dalton Kincaid when on the flip side I see Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. We know what Achane can do, and that just scratches the surface of this phenomenal Miami offense. Tua is a perfect puppet master with McDaniels calling the shots. I'll go Miami to score 30+, take down Buffalo by 4, cover the spread, and go to 2-0 at home in humid South Beach.
Nice.
I'd assume we disagree. I don't like when I disagree with you because I really like you and you're a friend of mine, but we disagree. Let's see if we agree on the next one. We're going to bring on a very special guest in our next segment, breaking down the Bears and the Texans. And now time for the main event. Sunday Night Football, the Bears' first road test of the season. They will head to Houston to take on C.J. Stroud and the Texans. And Zoom, to help us break it down, we have an old friend of the show.
One of my really good friends, Mr. Spice Anthony Adams.
What up?
Thanks for coming through, Spice. Really appreciate it.
Anything for you, Zoom. Anything for you, Zoom. You know you're my guy.
Okay, so guys, let's get right to the points here. The Bears and the Texans in certainly the Bears' biggest test of the season after no offensive touchdowns last week, a 17-point comeback that set a lot of history, which we'll get to later. We'll start with our special guest, Spice Adams. Give me your 360 read on this.
We just got to get to C.J. Stroud. I mean, you know, I'm a defensive tackle, so everything that I'm saying is going to be stop the run, stop the pass, and everything is rush and cover. When you can get into a quarterback's face, you can pressure him, you can sack him, you can sack fumble, you can disrupt his time, and then the corners can just break on everything, and then you have that trust. So if they could find a way to get to him early, make him force passes, then I think we can be successful defensively.
Spice, you know what? I definitely agree with you on that. They have Joe Mixon. Last game, he had 159 yards, a touchdown off of 30 attempts. So obviously they're trying to establish the run. Let's make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They do have an incredible receiving core. They have Nico Collins, who is a baller. Stephon Diggs, obviously Tank Dell. But Joe Mixon is going to be the guy. I think that they're going to try to get him the ball early and often and try to make it as very uncomfortable for the Chicago Bears to try to stop that run. And I don't think that they're going to pass the ball as much as they've done before, even though they're really elite at doing that. I just think that they're going to try to smash mouth and just run the ball right down the Chicago Bears.
I hope so. We built for that. I hope so. The Billings, let's go, baby. Let's go.
It's going to be up to that defense to try to stop him. And I think that they will. I think that it's going to be a nice little battle. I don't think Mixon will have 159 rushing yards. I think he's going to come in just under that. But they're going to be tested. I mean, this defense had to step up last week, and they did step up tremendously. So we're going to see what they do against a top contender with the Texans, because the Texans are no joke.
But Zoom, I know how you roll, though, Zoom. Do you have Joe Mixon on your fantasy league?
I do not. And this is the first year that I'm playing. This is the first year I'm playing fantasy football in about 8 years.
Really?
Yes, but I do not have Joe Mixon.
You got real into it on the alumni fantasy league. You got real into
it. You're right. You're definitely right.
Zoom, who was the first round draft pick?
My first round draft pick was Saquon Barkley.
That's a
good week one. Good vibes. Zoom always knows
very strong week. Very strong week. About 33 fantasy points.
Jeez.
So I did well.
Yeah, well, Mixon racked it up to 30 carries last week. That was a career high. Bears defense did give up almost 5.5 yards a carry to the Titans. So, Spice, we're looking interior D-line. We know they're going to feed Mixon early on. Who are you looking at for the Bears?
I'm looking at Billings all day, because, I mean, we're similar. We're short, stocky guys, strong, and, you just got to play sideline to sideline with no seatbelt, no regards for your body. Get in there, take on them double teams, let our linebackers run, and, stop that run. It's so simple yet so hard to do. And if you're able to, at least stop that run and stop that momentum, then it just opens everything up, and then guys can just peel their ears back and just go. Then you can have Montez Sweat coming off that edge and, force C.J. Stroud to do some things that he don't want to do, because, guys going to be chasing him all afternoon. So you keep guys fresh, you keep guys in there that could, get in his face, get their hands up. And I've been on the field with these guys, and I'm 5'11.8. That's official combine records. But across the whole line, these guys is 6'4", 6'5", and there's some giants in there like Davis and Pickens. So I think if those guys can get in there and just hog the lanes, man, it could be we could be real successful against the pass rush. But we got to stop the run for sure.
Absolutely, stopping the run is definitely up there.
Yeah, Bears picked off Will Levis twice last week. Do you guys know how many career interceptions Stroud has thrown?
No, I'm pretty sure it's going to be something that's going to be mind-boggling. Like, what?
Let's hear it. Let's hear the best guess.
I'd say 8.
Zoom says 8. Spice?
I'm going double digit. I'll go 10.
Dude, it's 5.
Dang.
5 for a rookie. He didn't throw any last week. So we know the Bears were feasting on turnovers. That's what ignited the comeback last week. I don't know if that's going to come so easily against Stroud.
Well, hopefully this will be his breakout game as far as interceptions.
Oh, yeah, we definitely need that.
Yeah. We need 5 in one game. We need 5 in one game.
Why the hell not? Hey, let's flip it to the offense for a sec. Zoom, we talked a lot about Caleb on last week's show. Obviously, he's been the story of the offseason for the Bears. What was up last week?
I tell you what, it was an introduction of welcome to the NFL for Caleb Williams. 93 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Definitely not impactful for the game. But he's young. He's a rookie. He's going to make some mistakes. He's learning the system. There's a lot of things that's happening to him. And he's in the line of fire as well. So it's going to be really up to Shane Waldron, the Bears offensive coordinator, to actually put him in really good situations to make plays. Look, we know that he has playmakers all over the place. He looks left and he looks right, and all he has to do is just dump the ball off to those guys, and they'll get spinning. But it's going to be up to Shane Waldron to be a little more creative and getting the right people, getting players in the right situations to make plays. And not necessarily so much Caleb Williams. Obviously, 93 yards. We expected a lot from this offense, but it's game number 1. We got to settle in. We got to relax. He's going to make some mistakes. And we just kind of have to trust the system and trust that he's going to make the right plays. And he's going to be up against a mean Texas defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't get any easier. So Caleb, I think that they have to simplify it. I think that they have to rush the ball with DeAndre Swift or throw multiple passes to DeAndre Swift and try to find some type of a rhythm. That's the number one thing that I think that he was missing was a rhythm. He didn't really get established with throwing the ball, even if it's like hitting Cole Kmet over the middle of the football field. Do that a few times, hit some slants, hit some 3-step drops, things like that. Like I said, it's going to be up to Shane Waldron to put this unit together so that they can be cohesive and be productive and hopefully not put too much pressure on Caleb Williams.
He could have benefited from playing a lot more in preseason. Like, that's the time when you allow him to make all of his mistakes, and you want him to make his mistakes during game time situations. So that first game where he didn't play, he should have played. He should have played like 20 snaps or something like that. You had Khalil Herbert out there. This is year 4 for him. Why is he playing? Why? Like, he has nothing to prove. He's been out there 4 years. So if anything, they should have let him go out there, make the mistakes that you're going to make right now. So when the regular season hits, you can understand, like, okay, I can't throw this slant or I can't throw that because these DBs are very fast. So maybe I should try this. Maybe I should try that. This is the time when, well, preseason is the time when you're supposed to go out and make all those mistakes. And especially as a rookie quarterback, they're going to throw everything at you. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at you to see if you're ready, to see how you're going to respond to it. And but last week, you got to throw it out the window and just start over. Like, just it's the cycle of a snap. That was a bad snap. Okay, get it out your head. Let's go to the next one. So he has to improve on what he did last week. And, you got a lot of vets that can help him with that. So I'm excited to see how he's going to bounce back.
Yeah, definitely excited to see how he's going to bounce back after this. Even though he didn't play well, he still got the win, and that's what matters the most is the win. Obviously, we're not worried about the defense for the Chicago Bears. We're definitely not worried about the special teams. I mean, they came alive, with the block punt, pinning the other team down into their territory. So they were doing extremely well. They were doing their job. But now it's time for the offense. And we've been waiting for this for a long time, for the offense to get going. And it just seems like they haven't gotten going just yet. It's too many east and west throws, too many for my liking. I'd like to see more down the football field. I want him looking down the football field. I do not want him looking at sideline to sideline. So we'll see what happens this weekend. It's a Sunday night game. It's going to be a really big game, a really big test down in Texas. The environment's going to be crazy. Let's see what the Bears do.
I think they should do a lot more sprint outs, do a lot more boots, get him outside of the pocket. Like, when he's on a run, he is wicked, man. Yes. So I think they need to take advantage of the things that he's very good at.
He had some throws on the run. I mean, even in a tough game, right? Like, he made some dimes on the run last week. Hey, there's no Rome Odunze this week, right? Sprained MCL. Grade 1, not too serious, but he won't be playing in Houston. How's that change things?
I don't think that changes much. He's a rookie, so I don't expect him to play a bunch. But you still have Keenan Allen there. You still have Cole Kmet. You still have Swift. You still have DJ Moore. You still have a lot of the weapons to go ahead and get the ball and be productive and score some touchdowns. But with no Rome Odunze, it's unfortunate the situation that he's going through right now, being a little injured. But hey, heal up, and then we can't wait to get you back so that we can get you back in there and see if you can spin.
Yeah, let's get creative, man. Let's put Swift and Herbert out there at the same time, man. 2 good backs. Let's create some mismatches and let's exploit them.
Let's see what happens. And as promised by the name of our faithful podcast, it's time to get to the points. So let's make some picks now. The Bears and the Texans. The spread in Houston is Houston -6. Over/under is 45.5.
Yes.
Guest first. I want to hear from you, Spice.
I'm biased. I'm a homer. You know what I mean? So I always think the Bears is gonna win, but I'm gonna say Bears go win by 3. That's what I'm saying. So I don't care about the little spreads or none of that stuff. The Bears winning by 3. That's what I'm saying.
I think I'm going to be a little bit more realistic. The Texans are a polished team. I think the Bears will eventually get there, but they're not there right now. The Texans are rolling, and they are very dangerous at home. So I have them winning 24-17 and covering the spread. I also have C.J. Stroud under 255.5 passing yards, and I have Joe Mixon over 66.5 rushing yards.
I guess that leaves one man to break the tie. We got to vote for Chicago, a vote for Houston, and against my heart, I have to trust my mind. I go Texans 27, Bears 23. There's just too much talent on this Houston side.
I can't wait to replay this video.
I'm sorry.
I
love the Bears. I love the Bears. I just don't think they're going to win on Sunday.
We all love the Bears.
I hope I'm wrong and the Bears win by 27. And I can't wait to show this video again. I cannot wait.
Hey, we'll show it. We will absolutely show it.
Yes,
I promise.
That's what we do at To The Points.
Spice, I hope you're right.
That. Me too.
Okay. Hey, I'm going to hit you with a quick trivia question before you leave, because I'm with two legends of the Chicago Bears, two defenders of the Chicago Bears, and the Bears made some defensive history last week. So it was a 17-point comeback, no offensive touchdowns for the first time since the 2006 Monday night game in Arizona, coming back from down 23-3. All right? So on that night, first man to tell me the Bears' leading receiver wins a special prize.
Ooh.
Bernard
Berrien.
He was number 2.
Dang!
31 yards.
He was number 2.
Who was it, Moose?
He had 1 catch for 2 yards.
1 catch for 2 yards.
Oh, it was J-Mac. J-Mac.
Nope.
Kevin Hester?
Nope.
Wow. This is mind-boggling. Des Clark?
Desmond Clark. 4
Des
catches,
Clark.
61 yards.
Dang.
Des Clark.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, went
That's
Clark,
a crazy stat.
Bernard Berrien 2, then you got Sheed, Thomas Jones.
Dang. That's crazy, dog.
Incredible.
All right, I stumped Zoom and Spice, so I can go home a happy man. Anyway, hey, Spice, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Thank you, Spice. Man. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. No problem, man. Love y'all.
And we will see you again on To The Points.
Let's get it.
Spice Adams, I mean, he is the absolute man. He knows a lot about football. Obviously, entertainment and things like that, likes to laugh and giggle, but he knows his football, and I love him for that.
Spice is awesome. I also love the nickname Spice. I put extra sriracha on my chicken an hour ago because I knew we were talking to him today. So thank you to Spice Adams for joining. Thank you to you, Zoom, for being awesome. And thank you to you, the listener, for joining us on this episode of To The Points. Zoom will be back for a Monday night breakdown after the weekend. But for now, we will bid you adieu and talk to you later.
Peace.